welcome to Watch Symposium. I'm Austin. All right, so Tyler is in Japan. You might remember Tyler from a couple of custom videos that he commissioned. I'll put links in the description to those videos. You can check them out. Eventually, he got a Rolex 16570. That's an Explorer 2 back when it was 40 millimeters, and he got a polar version, and that's what he is wearing on his wrist here in Japan as he hits the watch shops in Tokyo and beyond. It's a great watch to travel with. All right, so he sent me a question. He must be getting ready to buy a piece, and it looks like he's looking for a Submariner. That would work really well with the GMT function of the Explorer 2. All right, so he asked, which would I go for? A box and papers Submariner at 12,500 USD or a no box and papers watch only Submariner for 10,200 USD. And I'm assuming he's talking about, well, a pre-ceramic sub, a 16610 date sub, or perhaps it's a no date sub. But which would I go for? Before we talk about that, let me just say that I would let the piece do a lot of the deciding, meaning, is it the right configuration that I'm looking for? Does it have the tritium dial that I want, or the Swiss only dial, or the Swiss made dial? Is it a holes case, a no holes case, a solid in-link bracelet, a hollow in-link bracelet? Does it check off all those boxes in terms of the configuration? All right, there's that. Also, there's the condition. That's a huge one. I mean, is it polished? Is it unpolished? If it's polished, has it been polished by a third party? Is it polished to hell? Are the lines still there? Or is it all rounded and nasty? Or is it a beautiful unpolished piece? So that would drive much of my decision. Now, he says that if you were to get the no box, no papers sub, that he could take it to RSC and pay $800 for the overhaul and get the service papers. And that's good, but nothing can replace the original paper, so keep that in mind. Now, there's a huge price difference, and it's 2,300 USD, and here in 2022, our box and paper is worth 2,300 USD. Hell no. But the seller knows something. The seller knows that they will be, and the seller is pricing them as such. And that's something that you see here in Japan a lot. You see sellers recognize the future value and potential of a watch and tack on that premium a little bit early. And it's going to get there, but you're going to have to hold on to that piece for a while. But in 10 or 20 years, having that box and papers is going to be so important. It's really going to set that watch apart if you're trying to sell it. It's going to make it much more desirable. And a lot of pieces between now and then are going to lose their box and papers and going to be, well, just naked pieces, as they're called. And it's going to open up your customer base. A lot of people won't even think about getting a watch if it doesn't have a full set, if it's not box and papers. But again, is it worth 2,300 here in 2022? No. But I would be willing to pay it in order to have that value potential in the future, but just make sure it comes with every little knick-knack and make sure that it has everything, that it truly is a full set, that it's got every hang tag, every booklet. Is it supposed to come with a little anchor? Make sure it's got everything, and make sure it's the configuration you want, and make sure that it's the condition you want. Now, it raises the question of what kind of buyer you are and what you're looking to get out of this purchase. Now, are you just an enthusiast that wants an awesome watch to wear? Well, it might make a lot of sense to go for the cheaper piece, save 2,300 USD, and then put that money into having it serviced, making sure it's running perfectly, and maybe having that RSC polish. And look, let me just say that keeping up with box and papers and all the knickknacks, it's a pain. And if you're looking to travel in the future, you're gonna have to keep up with that stuff. If you're gonna, be a nomad and travel the world, what are you gonna do with box and paper? So it really depends on what you're planning to do with this piece. Now, if you're a collector and you're looking for that value potential and you're looking to maintain that potential and you like having the box and the papers and having the knickknacks can be fun and also a pain in the ass, then it makes sense to pay more for it. But again, it is interesting that here in Japan, they often tack on that future value premium early. And I totally get it, because I'd be doing the same thing too. If somebody calls and says, Austin, what would you sell one of your pieces for? I'm going to have to give them a crazy offer, an offensive offer, because I'm going to be pricing it what I think it's going to be worth in 20 years, all right? Not really what it's worth in 2024 or 2022, all right? So let me know what you would do. For me, I would be inclined at present to go for the more expensive piece, assuming all the boxes are checked off and it's got the right configuration, the right condition, but it ain't worth it, not in 2022, but it will be. Unless I was just looking for a great piece to wear on the wrist. I was planning to travel the world and I didn't want to be weighed down by box and papers. You know, as they say, you can't wear the box, right? Let me know what you would do. Thanks for watching. Take care. See you next time.